This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president of my favorite silver gold play, one of my largest personal holdings. I'm talking, of course, about Scott Emerson and Kingsmen Resources. Scott, great chatting. How are you today, sir?
Very good, Gerardo. Everything's good.
Well, listen, you and I first met, and man, I can't believe it's been, I think, over a year, maybe a year and a half ago. And at the time, you had an idea and you had a bunch of properties that you were trying to consolidate, and you were really enthusiastic about the possibility of consolidating for the first time ever this past producing brownfield district, silver gold district in northern Mexico, right? In a very prolific central Mexican silver belt in a very pro-mining part of Mexico that's home to many, many, many mines. And I thought, well, that's neat, Scott. I'm glad you're excited. Everybody has a lot of ideas. As you know, in our business, we hear stuff every day. But let's definitely keep in touch and let's follow up. And sure enough, what's happened since then is you were able to consolidate the entire district. That was great. You were able to get the permits. That's fantastic. You were able to structure a deal that's really shareholder friendly in the sense that you don't really have any real payments per se for many years down the road. And by then we'll know whether this is the big success we think it's going to be, or we'll know that it's not. But it really makes it to where we don't have to, dilute to make these big payments right up front. So everything you've done is fantastic. You just raised $1 million. We helped a bit with that. And now here you are identifying a brand new silver gold drill target that looks appetizing as all heck, and that many companies would consider a potential company maker in its own. I know that was a long introduction, but I wanted to set the table for you to let you kind of talk to us about this new target, how you put everything together, why you're so excited, and what comes next.
I thank you for that, Gerardo, and you did a great introduction and a great high-level summary of what we've been able to assemble here in the last 18 months. I think something that you didn't mention in that is we have a target identified for this project, target potential of over 200 million ounces of silver equivalent. And that was really based on the old mine because we were focused on looking at it along strike and at depth. This project's never been drilled in those two areas. So that was where we focused our attention here throughout our summer program. Along with that, we started to sample the entire project area, and we came across an area that was very highly mineralized, predominantly silver. We have released those numbers. They're quite high grade. And then I started to put the pieces together that we had acquired over those 18 months from other operators that worked in that area that had never drilled, but had done a good amount of work. We then put that together with the sampling and the mapping that we had done, and we identified what we now call as the saddle target. That is a mile away, to give you some perspective from where the old mine is. And that is a standalone, independent target that's got look-alike to Los Gatos, to the same similar type of geology. They get the same what's the word I'm looking for? The same geophysical feature that we're looking at or that we have. So that really gave us confidence to continue to work that area, which we did. And that we think is completely independent of the focus that we had at Los Colorados at the mine. So really here we've got a double whammy, if you want to say that. That's going to become a priority target for us in this upcoming drill program.
And so when you're talking about Los Gatos, you're talking about the same Los Gatos that was just acquired for nearly $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's correct. That company was acquired by First Majestic Silver, who's a Mexican operator, and Mark Pryor, who is now on the board of Kingsmen, he recently joined here about 3 months ago. He was in charge of the underground development at Los Gatos and the exploration that was carried on. So we are fortunate enough to bring him on board of Kingsmen now. So he's part of our technical team And part of the decision-making process will be with Mark and Kieran and the rest of the crew that I have.
So
So
listen,
that's a big win for us.
that's a huge win. I think it speaks to again. I've seen markets, bull markets, where if all you had, Scott, was a shell and the team that you've managed to put together. I've seen bull markets where that's a $30 to $50 million market cap just without the asset, just knowing the background and the experience, right? For us to have the opportunity as shareholders to potentially have not just one, but maybe two Los Gatoses right here in the next several years. That it warms my capitalist heart to know that the market cap, even after the robust performance in the market cap is still a $10 million market cap, folks, and we aren't waiting 2 years for permits. We have the permits. When will drilling commence? When do we put the truth machine to it to see what's there and to see how far we're going to stretch this $10 million market cap, which is what excites me.
I think realistically, Gerardo, the truth machine, the drills will be on site the end of January, the first part of February. That's what we're targeting, just because of the holiday season. Really, Mexico shuts down on the 12th of December, or it slows down considerably, and they really don't come back to work until, the 10th or 11th of January, and then we'll remob, or we will mob. And by the time we get going, I think it'll be either the late part of January, early February.
I'm gonna.
So that
I'll share something that is highly ironic to me. So, as my mom and dad, I'm of Mexican descent. They're both from the great state of Zacatecas, which is traditionally home, as you know, to some of the richest silver mines in the world. And the way that was discovered was the Spaniards brought over religion, and the joke amongst our family is that they took all our silver. But it's interesting to me that now we have to wait until late January because of the Christmas holiday and the New Year holiday, and what we're waiting for is to go discover some more silver, the silver that was left behind. So it comes full circle for me. I couldn't be more excited as a shareholder. I want to get back to this target, that the saddle target, because you mentioned that this, and we talked a bit off air, but this could be its own separate project, right? And tell me,
correct.
Explain to me, this is a mile away from the Las Coloradas project. Explain to me the data that excites you so much about this saddle target.
So again, I think that on surface, what we were able to find and put together, you could see a conglomeration of a lot of high grade silver on surface. So when I say that, it's not like we pick up one rock and we walk 2 meters and pick up another rock. This is over an area of 100 meters by 100 meters. So it's quite a large area. Then what we did is we went to some of the past operators that had been there, and I'll mention Coeur because they were there for 7 years. They did ground mag. They did some sampling as well as some mapping. We're then able to get that data with our own data and put together we created this picture from surface down. And that was where the excitement came from, because we were like, okay, then Mr. Pryor, who's got, no pun intended, prior knowledge of the area, said, oh, there's some similarities here. And we've always said that we have similarities over the entire project area to Los Gatos or Santa Barbara, which are big mines in Chihuahua, in the same state we are. And then once we were able to put that all together, we were like, wow, look at this picture we've created. Look at this. And then we sent it out to others to basically confirm our analysis. And they were like, wow, that's a big target and it deserves to be drilled.
And again,
so hopefully that answers the question.
Absolutely. And we're talking silver gold target as well, correct?
That's correct. Yep. Same characteristics.
Excellent. Well, you're cashed up.
Again, we've got a double whammy here. As I said, our original target was, we talk about 200 million ounce potential for that project area. And I'm going to tell you that potentially it could be far greater than that if this holds true.
Well, I couldn't be more excited. I can't wait for the drill bit to start turning. I hope you have a phenomenal holiday. I suspect you'll have a consistent news flow here for the next several weeks and months prior to drilling. I know there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to really ramp up the targets and make sure that you're putting those drill holes where they belong. But can't wait. I want to thank you for your time, and as always, open invitation anytime you want to come on.
Okay. Thanks, Gerardo. I appreciate it.
All right, Scott. Thanks again.
Back to work.
Always.
Bye-bye.
Cheers now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.